We're back with the only Scots.
Fuck.
But now it's not just Scotty and I, it's JP as well.
Hey,
Hey,
welcome,
bro.
JP.
I'm an honorary Scot for today.
You're going to be, only...
JP.
No, it's only... we'll just sit here.
Okay.
yeah.
You can take it away, bro.
Hello.
No. I'm joking. So JP is a bit of a, in my opinion, bit of a music legend in the Auckland music scene and the rock scene. He's been playing in a lot of bands over the years. We've known each other now for, I think I've known you for over a decade.
Quite possibly.
I think at this point. I met you when I was in a band called Somatics, and I came and watched you guys in Stitches at the time play at Juice Bar in Parnell.
Yeah.
That's where I watched
Stitches.
you guys,
Vaguely remember that happening.
I remember that. That was the name of the band, right?
Yeah, it was Stitches and then turned to Armed Advance after a few years.
Yeah.
Now, it all makes sense. Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah, so I remember that, and then we've kind of been in touch ever since, pretty much, a little bit. And we had to talk about your current project. So you got Swerve City going on at the moment,
we do.
and you've got your own solo project, Arrays.
That's right.
What's been happening with Swerve at the moment?
Swerve, we've just got a 6-track EP in the can, and so we're just
Mixed
pulling together,
or-
like done, mastered
wicked.
and everything. So we're now just going through the process of making all the content around it and shooting some music videos, and then we're going to release it at some stage in the next. Yeah, just when all the things are done.
TBC.
Yeah.
TBC.
Did you do the recordings, or do you go through someone else?
So I produced this one. Yeah.
Recorded, mix.
Recorded and mixed it. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, man.
It's really cool.
That's
That's
no
cool.
easy feat, is it?
It's a nightmare.
How was doing drums? how was doing drums?
Yeah, it was good. So we went and tracked them at the lab.
Oh, lab. That's
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
I
with-
did my stuff as well.
with Ollie.
Such a cool
Great.
studio.
Amazing.
Shout out the
space.
lab.
Great.
Yeah, shout out the lab for sure. And then, a bit of a learning curve. I haven't done heaps of acoustic drum mixing, but lots of research and stuff like that. And I feel like we kind of got them landing somewhere, sounding pretty good.
Yeah, what was when you were mixing the drums, what did you find the most challenging aspect? Is it dealing with the room sound, or is it dealing with like the quality of the kit? Like, what would you find would be
Just
difficult?
overall, there's a lot.
Of mics.
Yeah.
I mean, how many mics did you guys have on the drum kit?
Just off the top of my head, it's probably must be like 16, something like that. I can't. So
16
the standard drums, and then a couple
Yeah.
back for the rooms and stuff like that. So it was a lot. Maybe not quite 16. And I think just figuring out in each of those individual mics what was a sound you wanted, and then what wasn't a sound that you wanted, particularly in the rooms and things like that, right? And getting there, making sure that you've got the right balance in terms of cymbals and all that sort of stuff. So it's a little bit different with acoustic drums versus I've got a lot of experience mixing electronic drums, or samples, I should say.
Yeah.
Because the cymbals are in everything. Like when there's
So much bleed.
There's so much bleed. Yeah,
bleed into everything,
It's a
right?
different problem. So
Did you do sample like you did like isolated like hits of the cymbals and stuff, and then add them in later?
yeah,
and
but I
stuff like that?
didn't do too much of that, to be honest.
No.
Nah, I think it kind of flowed quite nicely, apart from one or two little.
That room has such an amazing sound. I mean, when I was in States as well, we did your stuff there. I've been there for States, well, not Christmas the Drummer.
Yeah.
And yeah, the room sound was just, it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
eh?
it's great
just such
sounding
a big
space.
sound. Yeah.
And then Ollie is such a wicked
He's such
engineer.
an easy guy to work with,
Yeah.
eh? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good. He's good.
So yep, and that's done. And
Then, so you guys are you guys on the back foot with the gigs?
Yeah, we're trying to get the content sorted.
Yeah.
And then I think
That's about being in a band right now. Eh? It's like
Yeah.
a content creator.
like being
and then
in
musician.
anything.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing anything, yeah. I'm making lunch. I better make some content around my lunch.
There's my ham sandwich.
Yeah. There's some slow-mo shots.
Yeah. Put some music behind. This is me. What's that voiceover on like TikTok? Like me making my sandwich.
Yeah.
Just like that shit is honestly like too much.
Yeah.
Like we've got too much content, guys.
Yeah.
We've got too much content.
You got to get those 50 pieces of video around that one thing, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the
We talked about that quite a bit, the whole marketing side. I just always stayed the hell away from it. I was
Right.
like, this is something I'm a musician, but when it comes to all that, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I think I totally get that, and I'm feeling it now as well. Like after finishing the mission of mixing the record and like producing the record, I was feeling pretty like done. Like I needed a bit of a rest, but you can't really stop because if you that's the amount of time it's going to be before you finish it and actually get it out there and you can get on with whatever else you want to do. So yeah, it was a little bit overwhelming, but we've kind of got a pretty circumspect plan. Like we're not doing 50 pieces of content around one thing. We've got like, a bit of a 6-week plan for each of the singles. We've kind of, got bits of content that we've made already. And I think a certain amount will happen at the time as well. Like just put a camera in front of your face and say, I'm going to single out, and whatever. Yeah.
You don't need to. I think the problem I had with doing some stuff I've done is I will take it like too seriously. Like, it needs to be like very edited and scripted. And it's like honestly just be like, as a single, like sweet.
Yeah.
Like, everything's a reel or a story.
It doesn't need to be as grandioso as you think.
Yeah.
And then depending on your audience, like if people end up watching it or not. People like authenticity, as we know. So people will I mean, even I choose that. Even if like the quality like of a band I like or whoever, if I watch something and let's say the quality's not like, I don't know, 4K or like perfectly shot, but it's just someone talking and being themselves, I'm like, I'd rather that in that sort of scenario. But I think,
It's the thing where if you've got, 50 grand to throw at a marketing campaign, then you're going to get all that awesome video shot by professionals. Like, that's amazing. That's definitely going to help. That's where labels come in, right? But for the rest of us, if you want to have like that one single where you've got the epic video, that the top level production and like all the, that's going to cost you like 5-10 grand, and then you get one of those every 2 years because we're not rich.
How do you go about, like, so are you doing mastering? So are you mastering it as well? Or?
No, we sent it off to Luke from Primal Mastering.
Okay,
he mastered it and I did the mixing.
Yeah, and then so after this is done, then obviously like the content stuff which you're talking about. So videos, videos is a whole nother rabbit hole.
It really is.
It's basically just cash. Like, we'll just throw money money at...
It's like, go record a really... if you don't have a home studio, you pay someone to record, then you pay someone to mix, and then master, and then you pay someone to do music video.
The music video,
like, I mean, how much is that already? Like 20 grand?
Yeah. if you pay top dollar, right?
Yeah, it is. It's super expensive.
I mean, that's real top dollar.
Super easy to get cynical about the whole thing, for sure.
I know. It's very easy to get... I found myself getting dark on it at times. I'm sure you probably have as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's just too much. Yeah. It gets so overwhelming, and I'm like, why am I doing this again? Was this fun?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Exactly. Definitely a few like moments like
the content part. I like that sound. Yeah. The content part for me even gets like that. Because when I work in marketing now, I like it, but I think it's strange. It's like a musician. It's like you're a content creator first, then a musician.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it. I heard Mike Shinoda talking about that recently. He's like, this article of him discussing about how younger musicians and that now, it's like that you're not even like focusing on your songwriting as much because you're so worried about trying to put out content for everybody.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, not saying you'll lose like the, I don't know. Like
it's lost the creative, just be an artist and go do what you do as a musician, and the content stuff
it's certainly taking away from it.
It is,
but you
kind of have to do some of it, which is shit.
And the thing is, a top level artist has a team around them, and so those 25 reels or whatever comes out easy peasy because there's 25 people to help them do it.
Yeah.
And so that's where the entry level mid range artists are struggling, because it's sort of like, how are you supposed to get that many? How are you supposed to match that top level for output? You're not supposed to.
No.
But and what it should come back to, and what it's coming back to for me, is just focus on making really good songs as best you can.
Your songs,
definitely.
You've recorded them and all this, and then what is the plan of attack? Is it just get it out, do a couple of videos or whatever, if you choose to do that, and then do you gig, tour? Have you thought about getting your stuff and actually going, oh, let's go to Australia? That was something I always wanted to do. I wanted to piss off to Oz and do a tour around there or something, because there's a lot of musicians over there.
There's a great scene over there, particularly the metalcore scene over there. I'm in love with, obsessed with it.
Huge. You should give it a crack, because you've done New Zealand.
Oh,
how many
then no one knows who I am in New Zealand. No?
We know who you are.
We know. A lot of people do. Like we would hold. I think musicians here do hold you quite high.
Well, thank you, musicians here.
Yeah. But like
only here. Though.
What's
in Mount Talbot?
Yeah.
What's the plans? Is that what it is? Just get it out there and then start gigging it straight away.
I definitely, for me, there's a separation between having this project finished in the can and releasing over 9 months or whatever. Okay. But also once it's there and ready, we switch to live mode and develop a great live show so that when we're releasing, we can tour and do a really great job supporting the record we've just put out, right? So it's sort of like I really want to be focused, because also I'm really split in my life at the moment, because we've got a wee toddler at home, and so family life is very full on,
old, right?
Jesus.
And also work and extra work like production clients and things like that. And I've got this solo project.
Yeah, it's just been lingering.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I was going to ask you, I think Scott and I were talking about this before, because you've got 3 kids?
Yeah, so I've got my oldest daughter, who's moved out of home, and we've got our stepdaughter who's 7, and then Izzy who's 2, coming up
right.
2.
So managing, I'm interested. I don't have kids, so I'm just interested how you manage to look after 3 kids. I know it's probably very hard, but how do you separate it? Like family life to then the music to then,
Fuck, this makes me seem really fucking useless, right now? Like really lazy and ridiculous. Because he's doing so much in a day, and I'm like...
It's honestly, though, it's life on hard mode for sure sometimes.
Wow.
And it can get challenging in terms of, I can count the number of hours that I have free to do my art on 2 hands. Like it's not, there's not heaps of time. So it's just being hyper productive as much as possible. And it's at the sacrifice of like the social life and some things like that, just because you do have to choose this. And I've still got like a pretty burning desire to make music. So that's what I'm doing.
It's awesome that you've still got that.
Man, that's pretty
I think it would be so... Even I've gotten cynical about the whole thing and been like, nah. Like, especially during that last lockdown, I was just like,
I can totally.
I've
been there.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do much, but I'm slowly getting back into it. But yeah, I'm just amazed. I think I'm amazed by like how you do it, because I'm like, wow, it's so much. Like it's so like because the family, and then like trying to do like 2 music projects, and then like because your job, you work in production, right? Because you do your own studio.
I call it a side hustle.
Side hustle.
Yeah, my main job's teaching
guitar, right?
Yeah, and running a bit of a music education business. So I've got plenty on anyway. And to be honest, I've been overwhelmed. It's been pretty tough. Like I've had a pretty tough mental health patch in the last few months, and I'm coming through that now, which is great.
Good on you, man. That's tough.
Yeah, I think it's, and I don't think I'm the only person that would have experienced that as well. But it's I guess the thing that kind of keeps me going is I want to see where it's going to go. Like not so much in terms of accolades or anything like that, but in terms of I can see that I'm a better producer, singer, guitarist, drummer now than I was 6 years ago. And that's not going to stop improving.
True, yeah.
I'm going to be better when I'm 48, and I'm going to be better when I'm 58. I'm not sure if I'll be better when I'm 68, but we'll find out.
Yeah, you'll be doing it just maybe with a little walker on the side, eh? Still on stage, eh? At the mic stand,
but
will be holding on to the mic stand.
Isn't 68 like the new 48 though?
Yeah, hopefully.
That's what
I reckon.
Hanging out for that.
Totally is.
That'd be mean.
Totally is.
I think you'd be sweet, man.
Okay, I'll appreciate the optimism. I do my stretches.
You do stretches?
I do my stretches, so yeah.
Do you do cold showers? I do my cold showers. I've started doing it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
just in the mornings and there. Just
is it like
it's intense. It's a bit of a shock to the body.
Is it the equivalent of the
ice
cold
plunge? I guess it's the cheap
cold
way
plunge,
of doing it. I've just started doing it in the morning just to kind of like, especially when I'm feeling a bit like I don't know, not up to the day. I'm like, what if I just do this? I'm like, this is already a challenge to try and overcome, a small challenge, but something. I just do like a minute and a half.
That's awesome.
Just to give it a go.
I did
the cold plunge ice bath thing seems pretty full on.
I did Yeah, I mean, who's got the time to get the ice sorted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's got the money to get one? No, not me.
The ice bath.
Who's got to get a fucking cold plunge, man?
So with your live performances, does the band, you and the guys, you actually like rehearse in the sense, obviously rehearse music, but do you rehearse like, oh hey, this is how we want to look, this is how we want to perform, this song's specifically heavy, so like, come on guys, just fucking let go on this one, or how does that actually work?
We definitely practice performance stuff for sure.
Yeah.
And some people think that's contrived, but also
No, good man, do it.
Because like, I'm not like a naturally expressive person. I don't know if you're getting that from this.
No, I've seen you.
Nah, you're expressive in your own way, bro. It's different.
Yeah.
Different.
I think musicians.
We're all different because we're both just like. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I think musicians
Over the top.
can be like super. I feel for me, I always felt comfortable on stage if I was behind a drum kit or on the mic.
Yeah.
But off stage, I'm like shelled.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Very
I feel like a
relatable.
lot of musicians are like
Contrived,
that.
yeah.
They put them on stage and they're like, they've got that natural entertainment, but off stage they're kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah, but I feel like you still have to practice being able to pull that out. And so we always, with the guys, we all work on our stage movement, particularly when we come up to a show, we'll like film our performances in the practice room and reflect. And
we used to do this.
Yeah.
We used to film ourselves playing a lot.
great.
Yeah,
Like,
we-
it's
we
really
used to do
good.
it, yeah.
It's, I mean, sorry,
It's all good.
I'm good. So like, it's like, well, I just think back to when I was a young musician, you'd think you'd be doing these massive moves, you know, when you're playing something, and then when you actually see yourself performing, you're like,
It's so small,
You
it's
look-
not
yeah.
accentuated. You've got to really
Yeah.
lengthen yourself
Yeah.
out, hey?
yeah. You look like you've moved the distance of a fly.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Joke about that, people doing like jumps. Because it's one thing we'd see like Diddy and like Caridian, like he can actually get some leverage.
He does.
And then
Very acrobatic.
We'd do a jump and you'd see the footage back and it's like
we,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm a badoo.
Yeah. I remember one of our we videoed one of our songs at like, this was back at Robbie's place, and I jumped off the wall, and then like some of this like the fabric came off the wall.
Nice.
And also the kick was really lame. It was like, I was like, it's not very cool.
Takes practice,
Maybe
eh?
we won't be doing that.
Yeah, but obviously you do this.
Yes,
yeah.
I haven't practiced jumping. I've taken that off the table.
It's off the
Okay,
table.
yeah.
I just
No trampoline.
I've never looked graceful as a jumper, if
Fair
that
enough,
makes sense.
fair enough,
So
fair enough.
See.
yeah, no, I have a trampoline. I haven't tried that yet, for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Trampoline into the crowd.
Launching into the back half of Dead Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need a big trampoline.
No, you don't. Yeah.
No, you don't need to.
Oh no, that's cool. That's cool that that you guys actually do that. And do you have a rehearsal studio? Do you have a place where you rehearse, or like
We rehearse at one of the guys' works.
Oh, is that at the school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, yeah. I was like, how did you know that?
Because I did a little bit there.
You did there, yeah. Oh, now I'm with it. Yeah.
Let's reveal the location now.
Yeah.
No, you get too many.
So
fans,
in the comments, we'll geolocate it as well. And
Yeah. People can rock up and watch you practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, sweet
no
as.
one will want to do that on a Tuesday
But
night.
that's where you guys obviously rehearse and do
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff.
that's
cool,
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wicked. So it's just that must keep you busy enough with those two projects and that. Is there any new sounds you've been experimenting with some of the new stuff? Something that's different.
With which project?
Swerve, the stuff so with the EP you've just done. Was there any new sounds you guys put in that was maybe like, oh, we don't normally do this?
Yeah, I
or something?
recorded a fart.
Oh, did you?
No.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Was it
I'm
huge?
down.
We got to call it.
I'm down for this
Yeah, the
now.
fart mic.
Bro, guest appearance from
Don't get
us,
us
dude.
started.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
fuck, we're in.
Don't get us started.
No. I think it's almost like there's songs that we've been playing for a long time. So it was almost just retrospectively making sure we kind of honoured the songs as best as we could. And so I don't know that it was spectacularly experimental in the production process, just mainly trying to make it sound as good as possible. I think that's just where I am at as a producer, is I just really am still trying to develop the execution side of things. Let's really make sure that it sounds as good as I can, and then kind of the experimentation.
Do you
can
find
come
it?
next.
Sorry to interrupt, but do you find it hard to change your hat to like I'm playing. I'm JP playing in the band.
I thought
and
for sure. Right.
I'm now putting on my hat. Like, let's get this mix. Like, this drum is not quite EQ'd correctly. Like,
I thought for sure you're going to talk about my actual hat.
Oh, no.
I was like, well,
swapping
that's,
hats.
that's a big change.
Thinking hat. Yeah.
What's under the hat?
just here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so yeah, that's hard. And like, it's also tricky, producing your bandmates. Sort of like, so I think the lines get drawn a bit further back. So it's sort of like, hey, what if we did this? No, it's like, okay.
You got to take it.
No, fuck your idea.
Yeah.
That's
So there's definitely,
man.
and there's definitely a few where it's sort of like, I think we should do this, and someone will say, I think we should do this, and then it's sort of like awkward in the band chat for a day, and then we're like, maybe put it to a vote, or we just move on and compromise, and so it was okay, like it was fine. But I think that's a different kind of challenge. Certainly a different challenge to if I'm producing myself, because it's me in my studio going, is this a good idea? Yeah. Hey, we love this idea. Let's just do it.
Yeah. See, that's what I struggle with is like, because when I did my the Nighthawk stuff, I did it all pretty much on my own, but I recorded with Zoran. And I was like, without him there, this would have been pretty much impossible.
Right.
Because to me, I'm like, I need that feedback, like straight away. If someone be like, don't know about that, that's all right, or like that's good, or like we should add in something else, and I'll be like, nah, and then I'm like, oh no, you're right.
Yeah.
How do you manage that? Because I would find that so hard.
Oh, I mean, the benefit of working with someone like Zoran is it's going to sound fantastic, which is great, and that's the opposite side with Arrays is always a learning experience for me producing wise. So
Sure.
I started out incompetent and I'm working my way to competent, right? So it's sort of like heaps of second guessing. Experimentation is always tempered because it's sort of like, well, if you're going to try that, are you sure it's even going to sit in the mix? Like, and so there's lots of second guessing, but just following the gut,
Following the gut
and seeing if I'm happy with it. Because at the end of the day, I haven't had an Arrays project yet where actually once I'm finished, I'm actually looking back and going, oh, I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, because it's more.
always
I remember for a
improve
bit, you were just trying to put it out, right? You were just trying to like put out not as much material as possible, but you were like, oh, what's the next one? What's the next one?
Yeah,
you were doing that for a bit, right?
It felt meaningful, like it was developing the skill set. I think what's exciting is, now I feel like I'm kind of approaching the level of sound quality that I've been working towards.
When it comes to your lyric writing, I mean,
yeah,
because we've all done vocals, we've all done instruments as well, and I find from being a drummer for many years, but then switching over to vocals, it was a totally different kettle of fish. It was like this whole other thing. I had to switch off from like being in a band to going, all right, how do I dig out me and let me go nuts? And I've always found it weird. I think I've had advice from people just to go, hey, just be you,
right,
and speak about your things. It was always topics that I steered clear of, would be political and stuff that was just out of respect to other people. But I was always like, I think I can tell about this in my life, and that's in. But I always found as well, I'd never held back. What about yourself? Like, do you find yourself holding back on some things just to like serve a song in a polite way, or do you just go, nah, fuck it, I'm just gonna let everything go on this track? Or
well, yeah.
Lyric writing is very different from playing guitars. Like playing guitars, you might be very comfortable.
Because there's opinions in there, like you're just talking about. There's and people's opinions are different, right? So it's sort of like, okay, so there's a short answer and a long answer, and I'll start with the short answer. The short answer is no, I haven't held back with my lyric writing, and it's typically my lyric writing is just off the top of the dome. When I'm inspired by something and I don't know where the ideas come from, it's super stream of consciousness, and often
cool. It's spontaneous in a way. Yeah.
And like, I don't actually know what the song's going to be about until I see the end of it. I'm like, oh, so this is what that's about. Kind of like some reverse psychology on myself.
Yes.
But then that's when that moral question of, wait, do I want to put this out to the world comes up?
Yes.
And
cool.
And then when you think about it, that theme that you've created as a lyricist isn't the whole picture. Yeah. It's a snapshot. It's a snapshot of how you feel about that one perspective of the issue that you're discussing. I mean, unless you're being like blatantly offensive to groups of people, like I'm talking about obviously like racism, sexism, etc. I don't think that's okay. But if you're talking about a personal problem that could potentially upset someone that you know, or someone that you know, like you know what I mean, like. That's not, you're not telling the whole story. You're telling a story of how you felt about something at that particular time, and actually how that benefits the world is that there are other people in a similar situation that when they hear that message, you're going to validate that in them, and it's going to, and so you don't need to moralize your lyrics, but don't put anyone's name in there.
I've had some points in songs, especially one song in particular. It was the song "Relentless" that I did with States.
Yep.
And there's some offensive...
Great track.
Yeah, there's some offensive words in it. But the song was actually about me.
Right.
It was me having an internal fight with myself. Yep. So despite what the lyrics say, that's actually like a lot of it was me reflecting, like literally looking in the mirror, having an argument with myself why I couldn't get words down on on paper.
Yep.
I was telling myself to get fucked, essentially.
Yeah.
And it was kind of... It was real therapeutic to tell myself to fuck off. Like in a certain way.
Or that part of yourself.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, what does he mean by that? And it's like, well, I'm actually talking about me. I'm not talking about anyone else in the band or anyone else anywhere. Like it was...
I feel like there's a limited group of people you can really offend with your lyrics, and they're usually the people that you know, right? And so like anyone that listens to your music that doesn't know you, has no idea what the issue is that you're discussing, unless, like I said, unless it's a political or some inappropriate
social issue, something in particular.
Right? Exactly. And then you've got to ask yourself: do you make your art to please others? Right.
Yep.
And I think most people will come to the conclusion that no, they don't. So
have you written something almost directed at yourself before, or like really like just like this is like I'm going in on myself on this one, and this is pretty brutal, and I don't know if people are really going to realize that
100%.
This is how deep it goes.
No, like get messages like, "Are you okay?" And
What songs?
I can't even remember one off the top of my head right now. Can I quickly look through my?
I'd love to like actually go in on the song and like really go. Okay, this is where this is the angle he's shot at himself, or not shot at himself, but this is something he's brought up, and it's like, because then it's relatable.
Yeah, I remember one song you guys had in Armed in Advance that I used to fucking love. I thrashed it. It was Mistakes and Memories, and it just went off.
That's not about me.
No,
but I could talk about the lyrics if you wanted to. But
no, I was just talking about the songs. I remember when I had listened to it, and it was just like the screaming you do, and just like the grimy grittiness of like, oh, this is raw. I love it.
Sure. Thank you.
But then like your recent tracks you released like on Arrays, so like Forget Fast. That was really interesting. Like that was quite some stuff I hadn't heard you do at the time. Production wise, but that one was quite deep. It sounded to me.
So we could talk about Forget Fast if you want.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So Forget Fast is the concept that like the whole COVID journey.
Yeah.
We're fucked. If it's kind of okay here, we're fucked.
Yeah.
That was the second we're fucked. Forget Fast is forget that things can be okay fast because we're getting back to being fucked up again. And it was about emotionally like, oh my God. I've just survived what felt horrendous. And look, it's going to happen all over again. And it did as well. So like...
I'd argue it was worse the second time.
Yeah. And like, so it hit me very hard financially as well. Like the first time I got through because of the government grants, but the second time it took a key portion of my business marketing out because I couldn't get into get into schools the schools I teach to advertise at a pretty key marketing point in the year. And so I actually had like the worst year on record financially as a result of that. And so it was just like, and I knew it was coming. And so that's what was happening with that song.
And that's what that song's about. Oh, Brad, I'm going to have a listen to that on the way
100%.
That's why I ask these questions about like lyrically, like with the angles and stuff, because sometimes people go, oh, like you really, it's almost like a song only tells, like you're saying, it's a very small snippet of what's going on.
How can you paint that whole picture?
I know.
It's a huge
picture.
Do a Tool song.
Yeah.
10 minutes long.
Oh, man. That's not even a snapshot. It's like a shot of the universe or something.
Yeah.
It's just too many layers.
Not enough context.
Yeah. What's it about? It's like, I'm not even going to think about this. I was like, I'll leave it there. I'm too dumb to understand. It's all right. get really deep in. What was the song you were thinking of bringing up? Did you have another one? Because because we're just talking about the ones I mentioned, but if you got one in mind, definitely keen to hear more. This is really interesting.
Okay, well, I suppose a well-known. Let's see what we can bring up here. It's okay. It's just right here, so I'll talk about it. So one song from Did Advance was called "Stay."
Mm-hmm. Yes, I remember that song.
And that was actually about a miscarriage.
Oh, bro!
And it was about the emotion of on the way to the hospital, saying to the baby that wasn't born, "Stay."
Yeah. Heavy song, that one.
And that offended my ex-wife because that she didn't go through that journey. She went through her own journey, and so that was me expressing myself and the experience that I was having. I turned it into a rock song.
Do people actually know like the actual story of what like that is? Because I mean, do you come out and like what? Well, when you release a song and you market a song, like do you actually like write what it's actually about?
Not always, and I didn't.
No,
it didn't feel right.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I would agree on that subject matter.
But now obviously you can freely speak about it. It's in a song, and that's what it's
to
about.
a certain, it hurts to talk about, but
yeah.
I mean, the lyrics kind of, and again, it was that snapshot. It wasn't actually a snapshot of this whole overall horrible process of loss and grief. It was about just that moment where
that snapshot.
We're on our way to losing a baby, and it's like that's me in my heart saying, "Don't go, just stay, just hang on."
Yeah,
that's all it's about.
That must be. How would you even play? Would you even play that live to a bunch of pissed bastards at the fucking?
Oh, it's had a sick riff.
Okay, sweet.
Mix it up.
But you know what I mean? It's like, damn, this song is like so deep, and it's like I don't want any drunk idiot hearing. This is personal, like this is like. But then again, you're like, the riff is so good.
But then the therapy of it, right? Of then people singing the lyrics back, or
and
like jumping up and down and drinking. Then it's like.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would make it easier.
There was definitely some catharsis in it for sure.
Yeah.
It was like, and I was like, I get to actually, because that's how I fucking felt about it. I didn't feel like, oh, what was me? I
that
felt
was the
fucking
raw,
pissed off.
honest emotion and feeling of it,
Yes.
rather than then people like almost validating it back to you, like that's
And
right.
I
That's
also
what it
did
was.
feel very sad as well, but
Yeah.
I mean, like when I thought about that song and I was in that space, that's the feeling that came up was, anger. And, and rage.
And it's the right sort of music that goes with it as well, which is the
yeah.
good thing as well. You'd hate to be... Yeah, I mean, you can do acoustic songs and all that stuff about it. You could do acoustic version about that.
You could do an acoustic version of it.
It really depends, right? Because
Yeah.
it's entirely different feeling now.
Yeah.
It would be a very
Very different.
Yeah, very...
It's almost, that would get too close to the emotion, I
Yeah, it
wonder.
would.
It'd be a hard one to pull out. Yeah.
You couldn't do that one live without going... Gunk.
Yeah. Well, it takes some pretty serious, like compartmentalizing or dissociation almost. You'd have to think,
separate yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That reminds me of the story of Architects talking about their song "Gone with the Wind."
Oh yeah.
And how that was about Tom, the guitarist who got cancer and died.
Yeah.
And them saying that fans pushed them so hard to play it, but for their journey of what they have to go through, because the lyrics are all written by Tom. Mm-hmm. So
right.
They're all written about his time of before he died, eventually.
So
died.
he wrote them.
So he wrote the lyrics. So Sam, the singer, Sam Cate, is singing the lyrics that Tom wrote. So every time that they play that song and he sings it, they're going back to that time of like their brother, best friend who died.
Yeah. And wrote it.
And you have to go through that every single time you play it live. I'm like, fuck. That's so heavy. And then people get upset and up in arms and don't understand it because people want to hear what they want to hear, which is what, it's a hard discussion, but I'm like, when you told your story, it kind of reminded me a little bit of that as well. Of like,
that's the byproduct of speaking your truth, though.
It is.
Yeah. You have to come back to it.
Yeah. That's the thing that's always been really big. We talk about this a lot: is brutal honesty with the lyrics, and I've always known you've done it as well, but I don't think I've really talked about it because I've always been. I'm not really one for lumping things into like lots of metaphors. I think it's cool if you can. You can do what you want. It's music. Do what you like.
Yeah.
But I always really like trying to like form a story or something. But then like I guess within it there's like a literal kind of, or like telling the story, like the snapshot. I really like that snapshot of a moment in time or a feeling that you've got.
Exactly.
And it's like really honing in on that.
Yeah.
And then I guess that snapshot will capture that whole bigger story.
well, it's going to talk to it, right? And I these days where I try to write lyrics is once I kind of get that whole stream of consciousness thing, I was trying to try and craft it into an overall metaphor. I think of a song that applies. Moving Pictures from Swerve City.
Oh, yep.
So that song's actually about being stuck in like an anxiety kind of paranoia moment, and it's sort of like you're in a movie theater, and it's the thought that even though the movie that you're watching you don't like, is leaving the movie theater going to be worse.
Right.
That's that. If I ever make it to the end, if I even get out of this state of mind, will the sunlight be so bright to burn my eyes? So is it actually at the end of this? Is it actually just going to be worse anyway?
See, this is the annoying part about music. It really is just a snapshot. Yeah. You never really find out the truth. This is what makes podcasts cool, because you learn about what's going on.
Yeah, you get to really like.
See,
learn
it makes me want to like go listen to all the songs again, and then actually realize, you need to make the podcast longer, bro. So we can like learn more about each song, because then you can really dive in on what it is and go, oh yeah, that totally makes sense now.
But also, it's really important that. I mean, but this is particularly true for bigger bands who have an established fan base who aren't immediately in the immediate vicinity. It's really important for those people to have their own story about what the songs represent. Right?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
You know,
they've got their own feeling.
Take your own. To take your own from it. Yeah, 100%. I want to go back to the beginnings of you playing guitar. When did you start playing guitar?
So I started playing guitar when I was 17.
17.
I was playing guitar for about 6 months at the end of high school. And I was going hard. It's not entirely true. I think I first started trying to play guitar when I was 5, and I have been completely obsessed with rock music since that age.
True.
But didn't feel competent in any sense to actually make music, and had no idea or concept of how music was made, and it seemed completely like bizarre and otherworldly.
Yeah.
And I think I went to one guitar class, kind of got put at the back with more experienced students. I'm left-handed. They gave me a right-handed guitar. They gave me sheet music. I didn't get any instruction. And I never picked it up again, because I thought that journey was you're incompetent.
Yeah, like, academic, read music, and this isn't what I thought.
I mean, that was like the first lesson. Like, that was just a bad first lesson. Like, first lesson, like, I've given a lot of first lessons, and first lessons are like, hey, you're going to do great at this now. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to, and like, that's like, you make it really easy and personal. But now that was like really hard and impersonal. So
yeah, it's like what would you like to do? Yeah, I talked about one of the other ones where like my first guitar lesson, I learned a nylon string. Yeah, and I was like, fuck, I don't like this at all. And it's like, let's learn the Drunken Sailor song. And I'm like, this is shit.
I mean,
but what a song though. At the time I was not impressed. When I was like,
how old were you?
I must have been 11.
Okay.
10, 11 years old. And then I didn't pick up guitar until I was 15.
So it's a similar sort of thing. Although as a guitar teacher, I must admit that is definitely, those are some of my moves. Nylon strings are good for kids because they get sore fingers on the steel strings. But you were obviously ready for a steel string, so it's different.
Yeah, I think it was more the sound of the nylon.
You wanted to jump in the deep end.
I wanted that distorted channel fucking going, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even listen to. I listened to a little bit of rock music, but not much. Yeah.
You didn't want the Drunken Sailor. You wanted to jump in with the fucking Leviathan. You wanted to unleash the Kraken. That's what you wanted to do.
Like, where's the drop D?
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to you. So you went. So 17, you started. Is that where you went to electric, or you were doing acoustic?
I got an electric.
Got an electric.
What
was the first one?
Oh, it must have been a Samick.
Samick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amp combo.
Oh no! Actually, first I got a bass amp to put my. No, so first I got a bass guitar.
Bass guitar, yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing with that.
Yeah.
And I was always reluctant to get lessons as well. I was quite fixed mindset, if that relates to
you knew what you wanted to learn.
Well,
that kind of mindset?
I think I was sort of like, there's like a card in Cards Against Humanity. It says like big goals with no meaningful way of achieving them. That describes my mentality at the time.
Yeah.
But what happened was I got through high school, and as you might imagine from the mindset I just described, achieved very little in that time of many meaning. And I was like, I'm going to be out of high school in like 6 months. I don't like anything, and about the only thing I'm obsessed with is music, and I can't play it, but it's about the only thing I can think of that I could make a career out of. And so over 6 months, I just like went nuts trying to learn as much as I could about guitar, got into mains, like in the foundation course, and then a couple of years later came out with a diploma in music performance. Could play some riffs.
Yeah, what were the first bands you were listening to when you came back to like
Pearl Jam,
Nice.
Incubus,
Yeah,
and then that's it.
just those two.
So that
was it.
That's all I can remember.
Oh, right.
There would
Pearl
have been
Jam,
definitely
Incubus.
would have been other like Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Big grunge fan.
Grungy stuff.
Yeah. But then Incubus and then Limp Bizkit actually, and then the sort of that new metal vibe came in, and then that's kind of
that corrupted you.
Oh, big time, but in a beautiful way.
That corrupted all of us.
The chocolate starfish and
That corrupted everyone. But
what about Deftones? Because you're a big Deftones fan. So when did they?
I think Deftones came a bit later.
Bit later.
Yeah, I didn't actually have the musical. What's the word? Like, I wasn't musically nuanced enough to really appreciate the Deftones immediately.
I think I'm the same. Like, people have asked me this a lot. Like, everyone raves on about Deftones. And it's the one band I don't listen to, but I'm listening to them at the moment. Like, my whole life. And, like, I'm like, what's this big hype? But then I was like, now I get it.
yeah. Well, okay, yeah. I was going to say, you are definitely musically nuanced enough to get the Deftones.
Yeah.
You were saying, like,
I know. But it just, I think I was just too much of
It was just like Blast Beats and Slipknot and Joe Johnson and...
for a long time, and then I switched over to a lot of hip hop. But the more, I don't know what it is. I maybe just like listening to me. Like, now I get it.
basically, basically, I didn't get it, and then I got it, and then I really got it. I think it was around the time they put out Diamond Eyes. Like, I always loved the song Around the Fur.
Yeah, that's a fucking cool song.
Yeah, like, and I'm still one all-time favorite song, although I don't listen to it every day or anything like that. But I didn't really like, was it Moon and Summer?
Yeah, Moon and Summer.
I didn't really get that when that came out. I was kind of like,
right.
like,
yeah, real like whispering.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
yeah. I was always a sucker for like a real cheesy melody and stuff. And like,
I was the same, dude. I was real basic stuff, and it just had me hooked.
Yeah, man.
But like technical, I was like, I don't know where this is going.
He chooses interesting notes to sing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think.
Yep.
And the guitarist, I can't remember what his name is.
Oh, Stephen Carpenter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very interesting mix. Like I read a lot about like their drummer. I'm a big fan as well. So like how the guitarist and the drummer work together, and the guitar is always like, there's a lot of like tension.
Right.
Because the guitarist really wants to do like really heavy, which they do a bit, but the drummer can't. He's not like a technical death metal drummer or anything.
Right.
So he can't do it. So there's like this weird like clash of like
that's what makes them.
Right, exactly.
Amazing.
It's so good, but it's so interesting. It's like I want to like write this, and
Such
it's
a
like,
good drummer too.
we can't really do that. and then it's like it's quite interesting. I've like listened to that. The vocal style is weird as well.
Totally
It does
works.
work,
That's
absolutely.
the thing,
It's very unconventional, which is why it has held everything that's conventional to start off with. Everyone's like, what the fuck's that? Like, brand new, don't like it. And then I'm like, oh wow, really ahead of the curve. But always in the beginning, everyone's like, fuck's that? Like, it's shit. And then it's like, oh.
Yeah, but there's always a group of people going, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That's
like,
fucking amazing.
all of that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
When did you start picking up drums, or was that because you thought, oh, I'll do a solo project? Oh, fuck, I need a drummer. Damn it, I better learn this shit.
Well,
was that kind of how it worked?
Yeah, kind of. So I've always loved drums.
Yeah.
But I've never, up until that point, it was never a practical instrument for me to learn because of family space, blah, 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 blah. I never really thought about electronic kits. So I was sort of like, they're cringe. They probably still are cringe, but fuck it. Like, they trigger nice samples, so it's good for me. And also there's obviously, there's an element of, you know all about this, there's an element of technique that I'll be missing because I'm not actually trying to draw a nice tone out of an actual snare drum. Mm-hmm. I'm just hitting a snare pad.
It's all the ghost noting.
Right.
It's the ghost notes on the snares and shit, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm getting a little bit into now, but they're very obvious ghost notes. It's like a ka, ka, ka. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like...
Yeah, it's not that little shuffle on it. Yeah.
So, but anyway, the drums I never wanted anyone else on the project, to be honest. I've always thought about getting guests on board, and like I'm definitely open to it, but like from point, it's just like I've always had whole songs in my head, and I was like, well, this is how I want the drums to go, and not putting down any drummers that I've ever worked with, frankly, their drum, in hindsight, I was listening back to some advanced stuff, and in hindsight, like their drum parts are better than the ones that I would have come up with because I'm not a drummer, but they just weren't what I thought of. Like, because I was just a really inflexible mindset.
Yeah.
And so because I was like, well, I'm not a drummer, and I can't drum and sing and play guitar at the same time. So everyone else likes that drum beat, so including the producer. So we're obviously going with it, and then over time that softened anyway, and now it's kind of like you got to let everybody in the band be themselves. But when I was younger, I was just a prick, I guess.
Just selfish. That's good. I was like that too.
So, and it's also really cool that I've been able to develop my performance ability on a drum kit with this project as well. It's really cool. Like I can play to a click.
It's a whole new respect for a new instrument. Yeah.
Which I've always been interested in, and always had like an idea, like, I could do the drums.
Drums are like the funnest thing. Just costly is like when you do the acoustic side of it. It's just the price of it that hits you. But it's seriously a fun instrument to vent on. Yeah, very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm so shit at it. I've never been that interested to learn.
We switched over. We did a live gig once, and we switched out. Like I can't play guitar to save my life at all.
Oh, it was great. It was so good.
Nice.
It was this. I think
it was a sound check. We did it in like a sound
I think the
check,
sound engineer was just looking at us sideways, like, what's going on?
The funniest thing when I look back of myself when I was on the drums, I'm so stiff.
Yeah,
I'm just like robot, like.
Well, I didn't even fit your like. I was down here going, "What do I do with this?"
Yeah. Like a bunch of kooks, trying to don't know what we're doing.
With your lyrics, and when you write them for your project, well, let's say like Swerve or whatever, Kev, he also does some like backing screamy stuff with you. Does. Do you write his lyrics, or does he write lyrics? Or?
Occasionally. He writes the lyrics when he hears a scream part that isn't there. He tailors his lyrics to fit the theme of the song.
Oh, right.
So it usually works pretty. Sorry,
sorry. Sweet.
It's been get me the whole day today. It typically works pretty well.
When you guys both scream together, it sounds fucking.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Really live. It's really good. I always when I saw Kev live, I was like. Fuck,
he's got a great scream.
He's got one of the best screams I've heard live. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's rad.
And he's massive.
I'm giving him more of that as well so that I can do a better job singing as well. So it's cool. But I like philosophically though, like this comes back to my inflexibility. Like when I write lyrics to be really open with. So then if someone tries to write lyrics for me to sing, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And I'll often be quite closed off. And I think maybe even at the start of Swerve City, I might have said just no lyrics, please. I've got it. I can do the lyrics. Yeah.
Won't feel the same. Won't hit the same. Can't deliver it the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
It won't flow or anything. It kind of loses its guts to it. Yeah. Oh no, that's sweet. I always wondered about that. Like if you're writing his screams or he was writing hers, or just in the future or on the projects that you've done, is he doing more vocal? Obviously, he's doing more screamy stuff.
He's doing more screamy stuff, and he's doing a lot of BV stuff. Yep. More forward, like main vocal stuff. I think the position he can take with the screams is kind of the lead vocal when he's doing that. Yep. I think at this stage he feels comfortable with that. I'm good. Like, cool. I think it's a cool dynamic at the moment, and I'm open to whatever comes in the future.
Rad.
Yeah,
wicked, man. Wicked. I got some random quick fire. Questions for you that I just come up with.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Best guitar brand.
Oh shit! That's supposed to be quick fire.
That's like the hardest question for a guitarist, though.
Yeah.
I'll give you a best guitar bridge brand.
Okay. What's that?
Evertune.
Evertune. All right. What about what about a better one? Overrated guitar brand. As in like terms of like the feel and.
Kev's gonna hate me. Yeah. But PRS.
Oh, that's what I play as well. Fair enough.
Well, only opinions.
Yeah.
And frankly, I haven't had enough experience with them. I've just played one upside down.
Nah, that's all right.
And that, I'm thinking. I don't even know if that's my opinion.
Nah, go with it, bro. Controversial.
It was. It was just off the top of my dome.
That's like right there. Been holding on to it. Fuck PRS. Sweet. All right. What about because electric drum kit? what I guess in my head compared to an acoustic kit, what's better to play on?
Well, I prefer playing, probably if I'm jamming, I prefer playing on an electric kit because the samples that it triggers is nice and clean. And what I need to spend more time on is playing in an acoustic kit so that I can execute better in the studio and stuff like that. Yeah.
Here's something real nerdy. Best audio compressor plugin.
Well, right now I'm using FabFilter Pro C.
FabFilter Pro C.
And that's working fine for me. To be honest, I need to do more research on the different kinds of compressors and when they're supposed to be used. I went to Clint Murphy's mixing thing with the producer series. I don't know if you knew about that.
I've heard of Clint Murphy, but I don't know about the producer series now.
Clint Murphy is such a wicked mixing engineer. He actually mixed an Armed and Advanced song, Pain, way back in the day. I think it's the best sounding song I've ever done. And he recently mixed Enter Shikari's #1 album in the UK.
That was Kiss for the Whole World, I think, that latest one that came out. He did that?
He mixed that.
Oh, wow. That sounds really good.
And he did it does
wicked album. Yeah. I love that album.
And he did a mix session where amateurs like me can go on there and watch him do it. And he did a rundown of all the different kind of compressors he was using and for the reasons why. And Shannon, so bassist in Swerve City and obviously a very talented musician and talented music producer as well in his own right. He was telling me like, yeah, man, like, why aren't you across this? And I'm like, because I do this. Compressor, it's compressed.
I do that as well, like default name.
Yeah.
That's the job I want.
I play with it and hear if it's better with more compression or like lower the ratio or whatever. I play with it and then I'm like, it sounds compressed. So I'm going to move on. But actually, I should,
I do the exact same thing. Is it compressed? It's compressed. The quality of the compression, it's like,
like the type of tones you're pulling out with the compression. I need to look more into that.
Yeah, that gets gnarly. That. Yeah. This isn't really, I guess, a quick fire question, but just.
I haven't been answering them as quick fires either.
No, not well.
They've become slow burns.
One I want to know is strangest gig you've played.
Okay.
Dead Witch. Nah.
They're usually the best ones because you can there's like 60 of your best friends there.
Yeah,
and it's like, weirdest gig. Well, we went and played a show. Armed and Advanced played a show with Skinny Hobos and Fire at Will in Taupo and in an RSA. And
whoa! Did you do the ode?
What? What?
The ode where you have to stand up at an RSA.
Oh no, we missed that one. Yeah, it was later.
Were you interrupting bingo or something? Shut up.
Well, I guess, and it's not to not to put down the promoter, who's a lovely guy, and he's still on Facebook and stuff, and it's all good. But it was a bit of a poor turnout in a pretty big space, and the pretty big space was an RSA with the pokies around the corner, and it was like Skinny Hobos who are incredible, and they were incredible at the time, and Fire at Will who were doing really well as well, and there was Armed and Advanced, so it was like 3 really good bands from Auckland playing to like 30 people in a massive RSA in Taupo or something, and it was weird.
Yeah, it does sound a bit
super
weird.
let down for a big place. Whereas, like you say, like Dead Witch, you can kind of cram a few people in there and have a good time.
Yeah.
Pack it up.
I don't know if it's the weirdest one I've done, but it's what came to my mind just now.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Have you got any?
No, dude, no, I'm blank as. I was just thinking like tours, like when do you hope? Or when's this music dropping? When's this new stuff dropping?
Well, right now we haven't got a timeline as such because we're just getting the content finished. When the content's finished, like up to and including music videos, then we're gonna create a plan around release, and that pretty quickly after that we'll start organising live shows. And
but it is definitely this year. Yes.
Should be.
Yep.
Like
we've all had a lot of major life stuff going on. Like
sure.
I've got a new kid, and Adam's got a kid, and Kev's going to have a kid any day now.
Oh wow.
And I got married in April as well.
Wow.
So
that's a lot of just personal.
Holy shit.
It's been a whole bunch of life.
Yeah. It's a lot of life.
And so
awesome.
But dancing around that sort of stuff, that's why we're not putting like these solid timelines in place, and it's just sort of like get the work done, and then when it's here we're going to go on the live stuff, and then it should be this year, should be spring, summer, should be.
Oh, that'll be good. It'll be, I think, good for you as well, and good for the band that have like yourself, and if everyone's been so busy to actually get to like summer, and then you can just let your hair down and be like, Finally, we're on stage.
Just play some shows.
Off we go.
Yeah, and just play some shows. Like,
Yes.
Like this is what we're doing with the band right now. Is playing some shows.
Playing shows.
It's really
And you got a bit of new material out, and that's cool. Yeah, sweet.
Get a bit of a buzz going, hopefully. Hopefully it sounds good and people like it.
Oh, man.
I look forward to it.
You guys sound great live, so
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah,
Much appreciated.
That's good.
100%. Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, wow. I think I'm out. I don't have much else, unless any of you got anything to add?
Nah, I'm just whatever.
That's literally what whatever mean. Thanks so much for coming on, bro. Appreciate taking the time.
Really
discussing all the all the ins and outs of what you're up to, and it's been great learning about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I guess we'll look forward to the end of the year when you release the
hopefully we can get some content,
and we'll get to some shows.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's a real honor to be here. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much, dude.
Sweet.
First guest.
Alrighty.
Nice.
See ya.
See you guys.